What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great weekend. We are back with another short little video to go over, and we'll be talking about the new Pokemon Legends ZA. And obviously, this was announced a while back. The game's probably has been in development for quite some time, obviously, but we got first looks of it earlier this year. Now, to be frank, to be transparent, I have not played a Nintendo Pokemon game in quite some times. The only games that I have played are Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, Pokemon Leaf Green and Leaf Red, and Pokemon Gold and Silver, and Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. That is it. I have not played a Pokemon game since then. I just kind of fell out with Pokemon as I got older. Like, I still love Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but as far as playing the Nintendo games, it has been quite some time since I last played them. Now, this game recently dropped, and didn't take long for a lot of people to like really start to show their disdain for this game. And I have not played it. I had no plans of buying a Switch 2 or anything like that. Let me see. But the game itself, I've watched different people play it. Like, I think Vera Dark that I follow, she played it the other day on her stream. And then I just seen other people talk about it. And then I just went a little bit more deep with it and looked at what people were saying about the game. And again, a lot of people don't really like it. It seems like it looks very, very bland. Trying to see if I can find anybody. Oh, I know a good one. Let me find it. So, because a lot of people have come out and put videos talking about it. So, from everything I've seen from the game, really the only thing that looks relatively good or cool is the fighting mechanic that they got going on. That one looks very cool, but everything else just looks okay. Like, the whole game takes place in one location. That's it. A Luminous City, if I said it right, was supposed to be kind of like Paris, France. It all takes place in one game, or not one game, one location. They have different wild zones set up for you can go and catch wild Pokemon, this kind of thing, that kind of thing. There's not really, from my understanding from watching several videos from people, there's not really any villains in the game. It's just, man, like, there's no Team Rocket, there's no Team Magma, none of that. It's just, there's no bad guys, which is kind of like a weird thing to have in a game like that, is that you don't have any, bad guys. Let me see if I can find. Where are you at? 'Cause I think let's see. Here we go. Here we go. That's not what I wanted. So let's look at, I'm gonna pull up like some small clips, nothing too long. And here we go. This one's relatively short. This one's from Madam Savvy. Now, we have listened to some of her stuff previously. Oh wait, hold on. Stop playing. What are you doing? So let me go here. Let's go here. Alright, pull this up. Alright, so let me grab this. Alright, let's see what she has to say. Because she has, if you don't follow her on X, on Twitter, she has been very much hyped for this game, and she is very much not. I don't think she's a fan of the game. So, all right, let's check out what she has to say.
Hello and welcome to the spoiler-free review of Pokémon Legends ZA. It is the latest installment in the Pokémon franchise, and it certainly is a title. Even though things have not changed in 20 years, consumers of the Pokémon series are eager to get their hands on the latest game for the experimental battle mechanics. So, is it fun? I'd say that there is potential. There are moments that will have you hung up, whether your Pokemon sizes mess you up, the environment, or maybe it just doesn't feel like registering the input properly. However, for the most part, the battling is seamless, and especially for going in and out of battles quickly. And for that reason alone, I actually enjoy it. But I find the mechanic also to be a bit mindless. You could go on for a well timed protect, but you're
Was pause real just in what? And then another creator I watched talked about how, like, if we go back and look at the buildings for here, and I was seeing this on TikTok too, but you go back and look at the buildings here, like they have it set up to where like it looks like there should be like a balcony, like a small little balcony with guardrails, but everything looks like it's painted on. Like it just looks like a fake city. Like obviously there's they don't even have that many places that you can even enter buildings in this city. The ones that you can do are very small and very select for specific reasons within the game mechanics. But other than that, and you can even see here, it looks like a pretty, like just from this shot here, it just looks like a pretty bare city. Not much is going on. You do have some. It's like a. What is this right here? Oh, I forgot that Pokemon's name. Um, Not much here. So
Pokemon do a weird thing where they always have to reposition before a delivery, but since we're all beta testers, I'm sure that the Pokemon Company will appreciate the feedback clips of this. But what about beyond the
and
battle?
let's also be clear about Nintendo as well. They have been a lot of people are getting kind of fed up with Nintendo. Now, obviously, you still have those people who are big lovers of Nintendo, and that's fine. If you love Nintendo, that's fine. That's great. That's but like going back to even this whole Switch 2 thing and the way they went about when it came to the price of it and things like that really turned people the wrong way. Their whole thing was Power World um, being annoying. Them trying to uh patent the mechanic of like where you go and where you can like summon creatures, monsters, and they battle each other. I think they tried to patent that, saying that, you know, oh, we're the only ones that can do that, which again goes and hurts other games that do the same thing. So Nintendo has been very much because like this game in particular, Pokemon Legends ZA, the game is $70. Okay, the game is $70. They announced a DLC for this before the game even came out, and you could go ahead and not only pay the $70 for the regular game, but an extra $30-ish for the DLC that will come out some point down the line. So you're already paying well over $100 for one the game, and then a product that's not even you're not even gonna have access to for a while now, unless I'm wrong about that. Let me see. Let's see. All right, let me see here. Okay, so uh no, ordering the DLC for Pokemon Legends ZA does not automatically give you the base game. You must own the full game to play the DLC. Purchasing the DLC separately grants you access to expansion content. Okay, so you must purchase the base game and the DLC as two separate items. And see, after purchasing the DLC, okay, so you can go ahead and Oh, okay, 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 okay. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So the DLC is already okay. So the DLC is already out then. So okay, okay, interesting. If I read that right, let me make sure. Did I read that right? Uh, let's see. Okay, I'm just making sure I read that right. Um, hmm, okay. So let me see here. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me give me a second. Let me go here real quick. Wait, where did it go? Oh, there it is. All right. Grab this. Get it up here. Get up here. Get in my window. Whatever. Share this. Okay, there we go. I'll just do it this way. Anyway. All right, so Pokemon, what is this? Make it. All right, so there we go. That's better. The Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimension DLC will bring new content and apparel items when it arrives. In the true Pokemon DLC fashion, Mega Dimensions is split into separate content waves in Pokemon Legends ZA. So while you only have to purchase it once, you will need to wait a bit to get your hands on everything it offers. Remember, to play the DLC, you have to have the base game. Without further ado, here's everything. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimensions DLC actually has two content release dates, but you can pre-order the DLC pack now. The first content is released on. Okay, so that came out this past Thursday, at least the first one. The second is set for Saturday the 28th. So you okay? That's I don't know about that one. That's it. Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's just my opinion though. But so so you can buy the DLC, but you're only getting part of the DLC. So because the first half you already got when the game released this past Thursday, but you're not going to get the other half of the game until February. So you paid an extra. If that's right, then you paid $30 extra for half a DLC. That just seems very greedy to me. But again, Nintendo has been getting on people's nerves a lot for the past couple of years. So anyway, let's get back to this.
battle mechanics. Well, there's no breeding, and shiny hunting has shifted, and supposedly shinies don't despawn. They just move elsewhere in the world, and on top of that, there is only autosaving. You cannot disable it. You cannot interact with your Pokemon in the same way as you have been for the past couple of games, and the cafe function is a cute picture taking novelty that wears off after about 2 uses. The story is some of the worst writing to exist in gaming, and while we're not looking for writing on par with Inception or Interstellar, they commit many, many no nos for Writing 101, from too much exposition dumping to major things easily shown happening on.
You would think in a game like this. Now, this is now they're very, very wealthy. Nintendo's very wealthy, or Game Freak. I'm not. Well, I guess technically both. They're a very wealthy company, well over billions of dollars. And one of the things I noticed when I was watching Vera Dark play was like you. There's like I think at this point you could have had like voice acting in the game. To be quite honest, Because I don't want to like have to sit there and like read and like it was fine years ago when I had to play like Leaf Green, Fire Red, Gold, Silver, and all that other stuff. Because then obviously you couldn't do all that kind of stuff in in those style of Game Boy Advances, Game Boy Colors, and all that kind of stuff. But in 2025, you could potentially add that kind of stuff into a game. But again, that's just my opinion about it.
Off camera. The game is a find mindless loop meant to tie over consumers between games, and it can be a fun grinding cycle for a few hours here and there. As a continuation of X and Y, however, it fails spectacularly. This looks like something you'd expect in 2005, given Pokemon was already on its way to making more detailed environments and characters by 2010. The art direction for the humans is certainly regressive.
So like you see, like I mentioned it, like I don't know if you can see my mouse, like right here, these rails, everything looks very like it's just painted on. Like you would think it would have that dimension to it, to where it looks like it's actually sticking out, like an actual balcony, but it just looks very like it just looks lazy.
But I think it speaks to the globalization efforts from boards and investors. Everything is moving to these soft, no edge art styles that can be quite jarring and uncanny. The mouths have this cursed bean effect, and emotions appear programmed by someone who has never experienced them. The humans also go back to a default emotion state between shifts, making expressions feel very robotic. What should have been a celebration of one of the most important locations in all of Pokemon has turned into a slap in the face to lore lovers and a product unrecognizable to what drew most of us to Pokemon in the first place. There's nothing cool about new designs. Everything is soft and safe, and if you're looking for a story with real conflict, you won't find it here. But in terms of improving zone shifts and getting in and out of battles in wild areas, it is nice and snappy, and the music is indeed wonderful. But would I recommend it, especially if you center this around whether or not you buy a Switch 2? No, I can't recommend it. If you have a Switch 1, I think it's fine for that, but spending money specifically on a Switch 2, that would just be irresponsible.
Especially when a Switch 2 is like over $400. Uh, I there's nothing on the Switch that would warrant me buying it. Like if I were to buy a Switch, I would buy the Switch One primarily so I could play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. That would be the only exception for me to buy a Switch One. That's the only reason I will buy one. It's just to play that particular. I don't really care for Mario as much as I used to. To be fair, I don't think I really care that much for Mario to begin with. But I do like Mario. Don't get me wrong, but I just never really cared that much for it. I've always been a Pokemon person, so.
Nintendo and the Pokemon Company themselves clearly were not expecting much out of this, though, given the lack of advertisement. 1 month prior to the game's launch, I was in Tokyo and visited all of the Pokemon centers in it, finding minimal effort put into advertising. A few cardboard cutouts, and that was it. They could have put all sorts of older merch to get people hype in the front of the stores, but instead they just opted for generic Halloween themes and plushies from basically whatever looked cute to whatever their biggest shill was. Which, yes, there was a lot of Charizard, and that's fine.
I love Charizard, so like whenever I play Pokemon, particularly Fire Red, 'cause that's the main one I had as a kid was Fire Red. Like I always pick Charizard or Charmander. The Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard evolution has always been my favorite Pokemon. It's like number one for me. It's always been my Pokemon. Um, maybe because of the anime. But yeah, Charizard is always number one.
But you could have at least put the Mega Evolution versions at the front of the store too. Why not? The game itself has potential, and I do believe the average consumer will enjoy it. As someone who is a lore lover, who clings to lines of dialogue for any secrets or historical relevance of the world of Pokemon, though, I cannot recommend it. As a Kalos propagandist, this game hurts because I know we'll never get a do-over, and Kalos deserves better. The first major gimmick was introduced here, the start of magical stones being important and actually changing the way that we interact with Pokemon was Kalos. And instead of celebrating it, they turned it into a test to see what they could get away with. But if you do pick it up, I hope that you have fun with it. Genuinely, truly, I hope that your experience is much better than mine. because I am just left feeling a little empty after this.
Yeah, so she, if you're not following her on Twitter, I'll have her look. I'll have it down in the description below. But yeah, so I mean, and she's not the only one. I think there was another one I watched. I don't know if we'll watch it or not because I think that one's a little bit more lengthy. Let me see if I can find it. But I mean, if you like it, then by all means, like you know, buy it, play the game, and everything. I'm not gonna stop you. Where's it at? Oh yeah, yeah, I did. This was about almost 30 minutes. So I don't think there maybe I think maybe there might be a few more. Let me see if I can find any like quick so far I'm seeing a lot of people like I guess you want to call if you I guess if you want to say shill for the game, then that's fine. But so far I'm not really seeing anything in particular. Yeah. But yeah, it's like I get like I said, I have no interest in buying the game. Um, if you enjoy the game, that's fine. Do would I spend $70 for this game? Personally, no, I would not. Um, and especially after now watching, you know, people play. Another thing about the game is you rank up from Z because you start at like Z and you have to grind your way up to A. I just don't care for something like that. That's just not my kind of thing to do in a video game. And so, but I mean, listen, if you like Pokemon, if you're enjoying the game, that's fine, that's great. But personally, for me, I would not pay $70 for this. Now, if this was maybe $30, maybe 39.99, I could probably be okay with it, but I just don't agree with it being $30 $70 and then the DLC, which typically most DLCs don't cost that much. In any kind of at least from any kind of gaming I have seen, DLCs don't cost that like $30 unless it depend. I guess it mainly depends on which franchise you're looking at. Because I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and I can't think of a game where I saw they had like a $30 DLC or anything like that. But that's just me. I personally wouldn't spend my money on something like that. And just mainly too, Pokemon has kind of like fallen out with me for years at this point. Like I still love Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but it just has not been at the top priority of my life as it was when I was a kid and young teenager and stuff like that. Because right now, what I've seen most people talk about is not this game. I've seen most people talk about the new Digimon game that's come out, and I love Digimon too. Digimon Time, what is it called? Let me see. I have it on my wish list. I haven't bought it. I need to buy it. What's it called? Oh, they got a sale going on. Where you at? What's it called? Digimon Story Time Stranger. I've heard a lot of people are talking about that game right now. And to be quite honest, it looks better than Pokemon Legends ZA. So, yeah. So it is what it is. But all right, guys, that's relatively it. Just wanted to do I always say quick, but then it goes on these tangents. But I just wanted to make a video talk about this game real quick. Again, if you want to buy it, you're more than welcome to. It's your money. You do with it however you please. Personally, for me, would not spend the money on it. Just buy everything I've seen from the game. It just does not look appealing to me one bit. But again, it is what it is. But guys, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure you comment below, and I will see you in the next video. You guys have a good one.